Hello, welcome to Breathing Copy episode number 4. Today is the first episode of the Gary Halbert letter series that I'm gonna be working on the next few weeks, and by the next few weeks, I mean maybe a few years, because I'm planning to do one of these videos uh, about the Gary Halbert letter at least once a week. Every Friday I'm gonna be here reading the newsletter, because I think there's a lot to learn about the newsletter, and it's free on the internet in the Gary Halbert letter.com. I think it's a page, um, and I think there is a lot that you can learn from this that can be applied to today's marketing strategies, let's say, and today copywriting strategies and that kind of stuff. And I say this because these letters were published in the 80s, mid 80s to I think late 90s. I'm not sure about that, about the time span where they were punished published, but yeah, I think there is a lot to learn, and I don't really think that marketing has changed a lot since then. I just think that there is just new mediums uh, and new channels you can use to advertise, right? So what I'm going to be doing each Friday is I'm going to take one letter, one of the Gary Halbert letters. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to let's say extract valuable lessons that we can use today, that we can learn from these letters that were published like 35 years ago. So today's episode is it's the first one. It's the first Gary Halbert letter. I titled this video 35-year-old direct mail techniques applied to 2021 email marketing strategies, because I think there is a lot of techniques that well, there's basically two big techniques in this letter in specific that you can use for email marketing in this uh, era, let's say, right? So let's just begin. I'm not going to read the whole letter. I just highlighted the parts that I want to focus on, right? So this is the number one. This was sent on September 1, 1986. I'm not okay. So let's start reading, and I'm just going to comment here. I'm just going to read the parts that are in yellow, which is not a lot, but I think they're like the main points of the main lessons, let's say, that we can learn from here. So it starts, right? This was sent September 1, 1986. Dear friends and subscriber, do you remember receiving a letter from me with a dollar bill attached to it a couple of weeks ago? So this is, I'm probably going to read. I'm going to do a copy breakdown about this sales letter he's talking about here. But basically, he sent a direct mail letter promoting this newsletter, so people will subscribe to it, and that's what he's talking about. And in this letter, in this direct mail letter, he sent a dollar bill attached to the sales letter, which is something that people. I don't know if he like created this, if he invented this technique, but it's something that was quite used in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if you can do that today. I mean, you can still do it, but at least you cannot do it in email, right? Because you cannot send money attached. But that's another topic. So you remember good. As now, as you can see, once again, I'm sending you a letter with money attached. This time it's a penny. So he sent this letter with a penny attached. What's going on here? Why do I keep sending you letters with money attached? Maybe so. Am I some kind of nut or something? Maybe so. Come to think of it, nobody yet has ever accused me of being sane. However, this time at least, there's a bit of method to my madness. You see, what I'm trying to do is to condition you. What I want is for you to get used to the idea of receiving money in the mail as a result of your association with me. I want it to become a habit. I want it to happen every day. I want you to experience what it is like to be flooded with so much mail that you will have to hire an extra 40 people just to count it all and help you make your bank deposit. So this whole paragraph is it's all highlighted because not because it says something important really, but because I think it's a great example of good reading flow, like something that it has good flow. It has short sentences, long sentences, and it's really easy to read, especially to read without to read with your mind, right? Not reading it aloud, because reading things aloud take more time than reading things just in paper, right? So this is here. This is the same paragraph, just I put it line by line because I wanted to show you how this is how good copy looks. Basically, you have uh, this line that goes like this, right? You have short sentences, long sentences, and very long sentences, right? This is a very long sentence. And this is basically what good copy looks like, what a good flow of copy looks like. You have short sentences, two words, or you have very long sentences. You have other short sentences in the middle, but you never have 10 short sentences in a row. In a row, you don't have um, a lot of long sentences. It's not all long sentences or short sentences, right? It's just uh, it's varied, right? Because that makes it so our brains don't get tired of reading, right? If we always read the same sentences, the voice that we have in our minds kind of start getting this monotone flow, let's say, and you kind of get tired more quickly than you would if it was written with a better flow, right? So that's just to show that. Let's keep reading. If you've been paying attention, you should already learn something that can dramatically increase the bottom line profitability of almost any direct marketing organization. That is the proper way to respond to an order. So basically what he's going to say here is that uh, what most companies do is just get the order, right, and then fulfill the order, right? Basically, they don't send any thank you email, any thank you mail, any thank you letter, and they don't ask you to keep buying more. That's basically what he's saying. And he says, here's what they should be doing. As soon as they get the order, they should immediately send what I call a thank you, please send more money letter, without waiting for anything, right? Without waiting for to fulfill the order or anything like that. It should be done rather like the way I did it when you order from me. You got a very dramatic letter from me thanking you for your order. I took the trouble to reassure you that you had made a wise decision when you subscribed to my letter. So basically, what he's talking about here, we can say it in 2021 terms. It's a thank you page, right? Or when someone subscribes to your email list, it's sending a thank you email. Thank you. You're taking the right decision, or you're on the right path, because what basically you want to try to diminish the buyer's remorse feeling that people feel immediately after they buy something. So if they just buy something from you and they don't get any kind of confirmation that they are on the right path, they maybe get that feeling of buyer's remorse, right? But if you tell them, hey, thank you for this, your order is being taken care of, is there anything you want to ask us, or here's something else for you, whatever you want to send them, it's just the acknowledgement, right? That they are doing the right thing, that they just they just took a good step for their lives, or to improve their lives, or something like that, right? um, now listen, did you also notice how by attaching something to the top of my letters, I am able to immediately capture and focus my readers, your attention? Do you notice how neatly my copy made the transition from the attachment, a penny, to the subject, getting money in the mail, of my letter? I like this because you can translate it to modern email as sending value, and then attaching it, and then making a shift to the call to action. Or basically, what works really well with email is telling a story, like something that was happening in your life, or some recent experience that you had in your life, and then make the transition to the call to action or whatever you're selling. So for example, if you tell a story of how, hey, this morning I woke up, I went to the gym, I didn't really have I didn't really want to go, but when I was there, I just started exercising and now I feel really good. uh, that's great, because with copy it's the same. Sometimes you don't want to write, but when you sit down and start writing and blah blah blah, right? So you start telling a story and then make the transition to whatever you're selling. And that's exactly what he did here. He started talking about the penny, and then he made the transition um, to the topic of this letter, right? So then when he started talking about his story, right? That he didn't have a lot of money when he was starting direct mailing, and that he went to the library, he read all the books, and the books said always the same advice, and that that advice that wasn't working for him, right? And here's basically these are basically the rules, right? That he took from all the books that he was reading. And it's more cost effective to use bulk rate than first class postage. I'm not going to read them all, because they are very related to direct mailing, right? And it's not really useful if you are not if you are not doing direct mailing right now, right? So you can go read it. These videos are not substitution to go and actually read the letter, but I just want to make that I just want to clarify that, right? So this is one of the rules. TC copy on the outer envelope always increases response. He's talking about this, right? About having a headline or something like this in the envelope. This is from one of the letters from one of the promos for Ballroom Inc., I think. So yeah, this is what direct mail letter looks like, right? An envelope looks like. So this is the other okay, this rule, it's not really that important, so let's keep reading. Now he's telling the story, right, of how he got started with this. I will come up with a product idea, like a book or a report or something, and then following all the rules, I will create a direct mail package to sell that product. And he will wait for money, right? It never came, not very much anyway. um, I would be anxiously waiting for orders to come while sitting in a dark house with no water because we hadn't paid our utility bills. So he asked himself, Gary, what would you do if you had to make your next mailing work because your life depended on it, right? So first, I bet you I bet you would not mail bulk. And he gives the reasons because he wouldn't make bulk. I'm not gonna read them. Uh, but here's something that you can apply to email. And basically, from this point on, everything that he says, or 90% of what he says, you can apply to current strategies of email marketing, right? So he says, I also want to make sure that my recipient knew it was first class mail. In other words, I wouldn't risk confusing him by using Meteor Mail or a first class print indicia. I decided I would use a real honest to God live postage stamp. The next thing that occurred to me is that I will not put a label on my carrier envelopes. What I would do instead is type or handwrite my stranger's name and address on that envelope because I would want you to accept my letter as a personal communication. I decided I wouldn't put any teaser copy on the envelope either. Would you risk your life on getting a response from a letter mailed to a stranger if the outside envelope said, here's how to get the Time magazine at half price? Right? So this is very important for email because what he's trying to convey here is that uh, mail and today's terms, uh, email should look like they were sent from someone real, right? They should look like someone, like a person is sending them, and not just a company, right? And he keeps talking about that here. And what about the corner card? Should it reveal that my letter was from Time Life Books or the Ajax Widget Company or Halbert's mail order gadgets? Not on your life. My letter was going to arrive in a plain white personal looking envelope with a real life honest to God first class postage stamp, a type or handwritten address notice or copy, and a corner card that revealed only and very discreetly the sender's return address. So basically, what he's saying is make your letter look like it was sent from someone. And I really like this section here, this part of the text that says, "What about the card? Should reveal that my letter was from the Time Life Books or the name of the company, basically." And I think. I find it curious that people in that, like 35 years ago, was having the same misconceptions that they are having right now, because I often have clients that are sending email, right? And in their email strategy, they include sending emails with heavy HTML elements, or at least like those headers or banners that they have with the name of the brand or something like that, or the name of the company. And I always tell them the less things, the less graphic stuff that they can send, unless it's very pertinent to that email that they are sending. The best is better, because it's exactly what he's talking about here, right? You wanted to make it look like it was sent by a person and not by a company. So if you start cramming a lot of HTML elements in your email, it's going to look like it's being sent by a company, right? And he's going to talk why you don't want that in this next section. So basically, he's doing everything he can to make it look like it was sent from a real person, right? So let's say that we've got our letter opened. So what else isn't there to worry about? What if my prospect opens what he thinks is a piece of personal mail, and then all of a sudden he finds out that it's not, because he sees a color brochure, a printed order card, a brie, I don't know what it's, a brie, a rabbit's foot, and some kind of yes no hot potato. No good. You know what I decided I would want him to see when he opened that letter? A letter. Yes, I want him to see what was, or at least appeared to be, a real honest to God personal letter. That's exactly what you want to be doing with your emails today. you want to be sending emails that look like someone write them, and not with a lot of HTML and that kind of stuff, a lot of images. I used to what I do with the clients I work with is just send plain text emails, sort of like Stephen Georgi or Justin Goff or Ben Settle are sending, because those emails look like they were being sent by a real person, just like is describing here in this section, right? So back in the day, he wanted to make his letters look like they were being sent by a human, right? That they were being sent in bulk, and that's the same thing that you want to do with your emails. So okay, yes, I want him to see what was, or at least appeared to be, a real, honest to God personal letter. My very first life or death mailing contained only two elements: the rather plain envelope that I've already described. So this is, let's say, the white the plain text email. Let's say he's talking about that. And a simple one-page letter that had the appearance of a personally typed letter. So that's basically what you want to do with your emails. This is very important, right? Good work. I'd say so. The letter generated 7.3 million cash with other customers, blah blah blah. So yeah, but that's basically what he did. He started making his letters look like they were being sent by real person, and he succeeded. And this part is very important. This is I don't know, maybe if you've been in copywriting or direct response for a while, you've heard about this term, about the A pile and the B pile concept. I'm going to explain that. He's going to explain it, actually. So what you have just heard is the evolutionary process of how I developed my A pile B pile concept, and I am including more precise and formal, up-to-date explanation of that concept on the next few pages of this letter. The A pile versus the B pile. So everybody in the world divides his mail into two piles, which I call the A pile and the B pile. The E pile contains letters that are, or appear to be, personal. The B pile contains everything else: bills, catalogs, brochures, print announcements, envelopes that obviously contain a sales message, and so on. Now listen up. The most important thing that you can ever do when creating a direct mail promotion is to make sure that your letter gets in the A pile. So this is very, very important, and you can talk about, you can use this same rule for email, because right now he talks about how people used to do this process, right? They will take all the letters that they had received, and they will divide it into these two piles, right? But that process right now, it's being made in email, at least automatically, because email service providers are doing this, are sending the emails, are basically sending them to different tabs, right? This is the Gmail tab, and you have the primary tab, which you get all the real emails, let's say, and then you have the promotions tab, where you have a lot of the promo emails, let's say. And that's why you don't want your emails to look like they were being sent by a company, right? Using heavy HTML elements and that kind of stuff, because what the email service providers do, it's they look at your email, right? This is the AI, the AI and the algorithms, let's say. They look at your email, and they start asking questions, right? They ask, okay, this email has a lot of text, or little text. It has a lot of images, or not a lot of images. It has a lot of code, like HTML code, or not. and based on those questions, it's going to catalog your email into the primary tab or the promotions tab. So that's why that's that process, the A pile and B pile process, it's basically being done right now by your email. You don't do it anymore. It's your email. It's a software that does it automatically. And if you're sending right now emails with heavy HTML elements, I will recommend you to stop, because I will because that's exactly how you end up landing in the B pile, which is the promotions tab. And remember what Gary just said: the most important thing you can ever do when creating a direct mail promotion or an email, right? An email promotion, is to make sure your letter gets in the A pile. Why? Because the A pile stuff gets read it, basically. A pile envelopes always look personal. Personal, like they were a communication from one real person to another real person, right? That's why yeah, that's I cannot stress enough how important it is to make your emails and your copy in general, but your emails specifically, look like they were being sent by a real person, right? Okay, so now let's talk about BPAL envelopes. What do they look like? You already know. You've seen thousands of them. They contain teaser copy, like the one I showed you before. Award-winning graphics, photographs, yes, no windows, windows with a fake check or showing through, blah blah blah. It's so sad. I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine in your mind's eye that a very busy man or woman is going to his mailbox, and there, lo and behold, he finds a double handful of B-pile mail. Just look at that mess. Can you guess what happens when a busy man or woman goes to his mailbox and finds such collection? What is the first thing they will do with all the stuff? Uh, so the first thing a person will do with all the stuff is throw it away. If you did, you're wrong. You see, the first thing a person will do with it is sort through it to see if he has received any A-pile mail. So basically, it's doing the process that now it's being done by your email software, right? After that, then he throws it away. Okay, if getting your letter into the A pile is the most important thing you can do, what is the next most important thing you can do? The next most important thing you can is to make sure that your letter stays in the A pile. Suppose your prospective customer gets an envelope that looks like one of the A pile envelopes. However, what happens when he does open the envelope and he finds a bunch of material that looks like the creation of it has set up some graphic artist for life? Well, yeah, you go, make your emails. If you're sending mail or emails, in our case, just keep them looking like they were being sent by a real person. Because if you send someone an email that has a good subject line, and they think that it's something interesting, and they go and open the email, you have a lot of graphic design stuff and that kind of photographs and that kind of stuff. They're going to close your email because they were expecting an email written from a person, and you are sending them basically something that it's a promo, right? It's an ad. So here's a better way. I want you to imagine what will happen when your prospect opens the PayPal envelope and he sees what appears to be a symbol, typed letter, and another envelope that is plain, white, and sealed and has typed on it, "Please open this envelope as soon as you have read my letter. Thanks, GH." Your prospect will begin reading the letter to find out that this is all about. And then, if you're skillful enough, your letter will grab your prospect's attention. It will hold his interest. It will whet his appetite for your goods or services, and then at the end, it will refer him to the sealed envelope and tell him to open it for more information and descriptive literature. So basically, what he's sending, what he's doing is sending two letters. One is the common sales letter, let's say, and the other one is this personal mail that he's talking about. And the goal of the personal mail is to hone in the person, to seduce him. He's going to say in a few lines, to seduce him into reading the sales stuff, right? So what will he find when he opens the sealed envelope? He will find what he will find is all the same stuff that was in many of the B-pile packages that I have previously described, right? So he's sending two emails: the heavy graphic salesly stuff and the personal email. And I find it really cool because right now you can find or I can find clients that say, hey, I don't want this to look really salesly, and I don't want people to look that I don't want people to feel like I'm only sending them stuff when I want to sell them something and that kind of stuff. Well, I find it really great that people were having the same kind of problems like 35 years ago. So let's keep reading. But what is different in this new experience? Let's say what is different is when he was what is different is when he was exposed to this material. It's matter of timing. Selling is like seduction. If you take the trouble to warm up your prospect, to seduce him a little before you pop the big question, will you buy my goods, then your closing rate will be much higher. So basically this same structure, you can put it right now in email and sales letter, sales page terms, right? Because you send a personal email, right? And then you send people to the I don't know why this is happening. Okay, to your sales page. Sorry, my internet it's not the greatest one. So he's sending this personal letter that looks like that was being sent by a person, right? And that's what you want to do with your email. You want to be sending emails to your list every day that you personally write or not, but that they look like you personally wrote them, and you want to be sending them those emails. And then what you want to do is take them to your sales page, or what he was doing in that time is like that V pile, right? The V pile promotional mail. So you can take this technique, this strategy that he's explaining here, and you can apply it right now to your email strategy. So here's a true story that will illustrate my point. Here he starts telling this story of how he used this strategy with a guy that was selling vitamins or supplements, and this guy was sending a lot of mails, and he wasn't having the best response. And Gary took that company, and he started using this two mail strategy, right? The personal email and the personal mail, sorry, and the promo mail, and he made this guy a lot of money. So let's see what's next. After I figure out what my life the letter should at least look personal, I decided it would be just wonderful if somehow I could give my sales letter the appearance of having actually been individually typed. So here starts talking about how he find a way to make his computer look make his his letters look like they were written in a typewriter, right? Because that's how letters were sent back in the day. They look basically like this, this font. I don't know what this font is, but you can find it in every text editor. So yeah, that's basically it. You can that's the what I find amazing here is that people were having exactly the exact same problems that they are having right now, and there's the exact same misconceptions about what you should be doing or not. I see a lot of companies that they are sending a lot of the really heavy HTML stuff when they could be sending just plain text emails like Ben Settle, uh, or they are sending one email a day because that's they don't want to annoy people, and they don't know that if you start sending emails that really give value to your readers, they won't be they won't feel annoyed. They will feel grateful because you are sending them your stuff and valuable information, right? So basically, let's do a recap. He starts by using this strategy about sending you a penny as the hook, let's say, and then making a transition into the topic. It's something that you can do with your emails, or yeah, with your emails, um, about sending a story, sending some piece of advice, and then make a transition um, into your sales page, let's say. Then the best thing you can do is keep in your mails in the A pile, right? And how do you do that? Well, making your emails look like were being sent by a person, right? Here, let's see if I can find that line here that he talks about emails being sent from real person to real person. I don't remember where is it. Um, but yeah, basically that's what you want to do with your emails. You want to make them look like they were being written and sent by a person, right? You don't want to send a lot of HTML stuff or a lot of templates or any of that stuff, because it's not necessary, and because it's going to keep you out of the A pile, which is the primary tab, and it's going to keep you in the B pile, which is the promotions tab. Remember that that whole process of people dividing stuff into the A pile and the B pile, it's now being made automatically by AI. So you want to start sending emails. If you're not sending emails right now that are plain text, you maybe should try it just to see if your emails start going to the primary tab instead of the other one. So yeah, that's basically it. Make your emails look good. Make them look like they are being sent by a real person, and stay in the A pile, right? So that's basically it. There's not much else. These are lessons uh, that he made, he discovered 35 years ago, and that you can use right now, because the same stuff applies, right? You still have to seduce people, like he mentioned at some point. Selling is like seducing people, and if you are sending only promo emails, well, you can keep doing it, or you can start seducing people and honing them into going to your sales page, maybe a bit warmer than if you just send the common graphic field email. So that's gonna be it for today. I'm going to be live, I think, tomorrow. Let me see, tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm going to start doing the sales letter series. Basically, I'm going to write a sales letter completely, and I'm going to go step by step through all the process of writing a sales letter. And the first step is going to be the research. I'm going to show live how I do research and how I go into forums, into Reddit, and all kind of places to find what customers are saying about a problem or about a product, and how to take that and use it to write copy. Right, so that's going to be tomorrow, and Sunday I'm going to start doing my random Sunday shows. I don't know what I'm going to talk about this Sunday, but they are going to be not specifically about marketing, or maybe they will, because it's going to be random, but it's going to be just what I have in mind in that day. So that's everything for this. If you like, please subscribe or leave me a comment or like or anything, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye bye.